Well, I've talked many times about having a plan, and realistically, if you can survive a solar flare slash EMP type of event, your odds of surviving other events will be pretty good. Aside from a direct impact from a meteor strike or something like that. But you're talking about floods and things of that nature. The lights going out and shutting down everything, like disrupting trains, satellite signals. I mean, you name it. Everything will go down. And the reality of all this is that if it was to happen and a massive event sent our way, we would have roughly 12 hours of warning to do something about it. Now, there's a new government document put out by the Department of Business, Innovation and Skills, should I say, that has laid out its Space Weather Preparedness Strategy, outlining the risks of unsettled space weather and what it plans to do about that, all these energies that can come in. This document explains that the worst case scenario is a CME, a coronal mass ejection. These are huge eruptions off of the sun in which parts of the corona detach. You have beta, gamma, all these different energy fields that can form in these sunspots and unleash these massive ejections. You also have filaments that will stretch out across the sun that can also burst and erupt and fall back down, causing other explosions. And all of that is being ejected out into space. Now, for the most part, a lot of these shots with these sunspots, as of late, have missed Earth, or they give us just a glancing blow. But there have been some decent ones popped off here in the past year or so. And when you want to start getting up into the X-class flares, and they start coming back to back to back, and they start facing Earth, that's when you really want to start paying attention. But the reality of it is, anything can happen off the sun at any given time. There's so many more properties to the sun, I believe, than what they ever even talk about with electromagnetism and everything else that has to do with the universe. But as far as preparing for a solar storm, you can expect only a 12-hour warning here. And you're not going to have time to run out unless you want to fight everybody in line at the stores to try to do this or that to try to prepare. I've talked about it before. Galvanized garbage can, ammo tins, things that you can make, Faraday cage, look it up. You want to put some electronics in a laptop, things of that nature, tucked away in this underground in a spot where it's not affected by an electromagnetic pulse that's going to fry all the chips and receptors and things of that nature. You want to have some backups buried, and you want to have them done in a manner to where they're going to be safe if something like this goes down. You see what I'm saying? And granted, even if you have these, you're going to have to think of ways to have a power supply that is also protected, that will be able to run. People have generators that run on gas, but the pumps are not going to work at the gas stations at this point. You see, you have to start thinking along those lines. The best thing that I can say for anyone out there is take a weekend. Get with your buddies. Get with your family. Get a good, comfortable weekend. And get out and just act like it happened. Act like the lights are out. What are we going to do from here? And see the problems that you're going to run into immediately. And be like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a shocker for some of you. And you will see that you are ill prepared for something like this if it comes along. If you do something like that and just go through, a simulation of the effects of this and what you're going to have to do, you're going to see there's a lot of things that you're lacking. And maybe then you and others around you will see the importance of getting some stuff together and in a safe spot. Galvanized garbage can, Faraday cage, look it up. Something that will not be affected by a solar storm or an EMP type of event. or you're going to be a sitting duck along with everybody else. So, I'll leave a link here. Until next time, this has been Dabu7. Eyes to the skies.